Good afternoon, everybody. A warm welcome to another interesting session. I've named this session as Launchpad. Register your startup live on Udyam. This title itself will give you a brief idea about what is the objective of this particular seminar or workshop. In this workshop, what I would like to do is that I would like to convert your ideas into startups. Convert your ideas into startups. What is a startup? Who should be an entrepreneur? What are the ways in which you can become entrepreneurs? What are the ideas that is going to be fruitful in the end? How you are going to be a very successful entrepreneur. I'll give you a brief outline of what I'm going to do in this workshop. First thing is that obviously we have to know where to start with, what is the path you have to travel, where you have to end up. This I have named it as the entrepreneurial journey. The second, what, how do you generate ideas? Recently I've come to attend a workshop where the speaker was telling, if you look around yourself, you will find infinite set of problems. There are a lot of problems all around us. Every day we are facing so many problems. Do you want me to speak in the mic, or without mic you can hear me? I prefer not using the mic, that's why. Am I audible? Very much? Okay. So recently I had attended a workshop where the speaker told, you look around yourself, you have infinite number of problems. We have infinite opportunities for being an entrepreneur. A few days back, I had a few students who are sitting here and we were planning for our Pongal celebrations in our campus. That time, we were open to stalls. I've given a few ideas. There is a mindset. Being an entrepreneur is not something that you like to do or something you are interested in or something that is optional. That should be there in every cell of your body. Every way you think you need something or the other, you know you are an entrepreneur. There is no question of interesting. There is no question of taking something as you like it. You do it whether you like it or not. It's there in your blood. It should there in your body. So this is an entrepreneurial mindset. So I'll tell you what we have to do to understand what is entrepreneurial mindset. I cannot develop this. I cannot make you entrepreneurs. You are already an entrepreneur. I can just show you some paths. That's it. Okay. Inspiration from IIT Madras. I'll tell you a few examples of very interesting startups. So up to this, it is some kind of lecture or something where I'm going to speak to you. The workshop begins from the fourth point, from where I'm going to teach you how to register a startup at the MSME portal, Ministry of Small Scale Industries, Government of India, how to register a company, what are the different types of companies, and how you can make your idea, the product, into a reality and sell it in the market so that you have a monopoly of all these things. The next session, I am planning for another session on how to register a patent. Okay, what is a patent? How to register a patent? I'll call it as a roadmap to patent registration. That will be my next one in the series of talks. Okay, so why should you register? What are the benefits you get on registering in Udyam portal? Then what industry speaks about? How you are going to get support from industry? I am going to tell you means and methods where which you can contact industry leaders who is going to work in your vertical or in your domain, and with that you can improvise your product, you can make a product, you can sell it in the market, and you can become highly successful. Ultimately, for an entrepreneur, success is only in terms of money. If you are not able to generate revenue, you are not a successful entrepreneur. That's the end. End of everything is that. So how you are going to do that? You need to have connection with the industry. You need to know where your products are going to be sold. Then what is your eligibility to register? What are the required documents? I'll introduce to you students who have had success in being entrepreneurs. Some success stories. Apart from being the HOD of computer science, I am also in charge of startups at our college, startups and incubation centers. I am going to brief you how ESA College is going to support you in becoming an entrepreneur. What is the support that I promise to give you or we promise to deliver on this behalf? External supports. From where all you can get funding. I told you now, if you want to be successful, you need to make money. You need to generate revenue. What are the different ways in which you can generate revenue? How you can create income for your startup. And finally, what you have to do? What is the next step you have to do? Okay? So why startups are important? I would like this session to be more interactive. If you want mic, you can ask me, you can raise your hands, you can stop, you can tell me anything. But I prefer you always keep talking to me because I want this session to be highly interactive. Okay? So why do you think startups are very important? Why do you think that we are giving so much of importance to startups? Can you tell me? Do you want me to talk in Tamil also? Startups ஏன் important நீங்க feel பண்றீங்க? Why do you think that? Can you tell me, பேசுங்க? Can you tell me about it? I believe that at least a few of you have started thinking why startups is important. India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. Okay. I remember the very famous quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He says that you should become capable of giving jobs to thousands or hundreds of people than seeking jobs. If you are an entrepreneur or if you own a startup, you can give jobs to thousands or even 10,000s. So it is ultimately very important that we concentrate on startups. We have enough funding opportunities, and I can tell you that it is very, very easy and simple to start with. Not the entire journey is easy. Starting with an idea is very, very, very easy. I'll tell you the difficulties what you will be facing. I'll tell you the other kinds of problems that will come up, and everything in a stage by stage phased manner. So 100 plus unicorns valued at over $350 billion. See, every day we have startups growing up. Unicorns are those that have more than $1 billion turnover. Can you tell me, what do you understand by a turnover? What is a turnover of a company? Can anybody tell me what is turnover, or what do you understand by turnover? What is estimate, business estimates? I want this session to be highly interactive. Please talk to me. Turnover of a company is the overall expenditure or overall income of a company. So if you have more than 1 billion, you call it as unicorns. So currently we have over 100 unicorns, and the overall value is about 350 billion. I'm glad that all of you are engineering students, and I am also more proud that engineering students have natural instincts and are more capable of becoming an entrepreneur than any other students. Why? Because you have a natural ability to solve problems. From the day you have joined engineering, what you have been looking to is how to solve problems. Whatever be the branch of study you have opted, if it is electronics, agriculture, computer science, AIDS, or whatever it is, for all branches of study, engineers are natural problem solvers. And so you are one step ahead or one step closer to becoming an entrepreneur than a science or a commerce student. Okay, if you had gone through the syllabus of science courses, say for example BSc physics, chemistry or maths, and compare it with the syllabus what you are studying, you will know that the syllabus you are studying has something that has more problems to solve, more real-time exposure than any other branches of study or any other courses. Yes, the last very important point. See, almost every startups, I told you we have 100 plus unicorns worth over $560 billion in India. And 99% of the ideas come only from the colleges. Okay, it's very, very easy. your small ideas turn into big solutions. Small problems turn into big solutions. And surprisingly, you know that most of the startups are founded by IIT dropouts. Examples, can you give me examples? BharatMatrimony.com, you have seen now? How many of you have already registered? Matrimony, registered? No. It was a startup, it was an idea, a very simple idea of connecting people, and it is now worth billions of crores, billions of rupees or dollars. Okay? Uber, Ola, there are infinite examples of startups which have become highly successful, and all these ideas are very simple ideas that are being generated from your campuses. If you think it is, that's all. So I'm sure that all of you sitting here will have at least one or the other idea. Okay? If you don't have ideas, you can generate ideas and you can start working with that. Okay? So every giant company started as a very small idea in a garage or a hostel room. You know the story of Bill Gates, am I right? In 1970s or 73s, it was very difficult to access a computer. It was not possible to use a computer at all. To use computers, you have to give rent. You didn't have internet and all these facilities now. If you want to use a computer for a few minutes without even internet, you need to pay money. Okay? Things started changing after the advent of Windows operating systems, where common people were able to access computers easily. Otherwise, imagine you don't have an operating system like Windows. Today, you cannot access computers as it is now. How difficult it would have been. From there, we started building up different things. Same way, most of you might have already heard of the story of Steve Jobs, right? Apple was a very small company which did not have any kind of facilities. It was started in a car garage. And today, you know how big Apple is. Wondering why I am telling you all these things? Very simple. I wanted no excuses for entrepreneurs. You cannot say that I was not given this, I did not have that facility, I did not have computers, I did not have internet connection, I did not have Wi-Fi. That's why I am not very successful in becoming an entrepreneur. You cannot tell any of these excuses, and there is absolutely no excuse for not being an entrepreneur in spite of all the luxurious facilities that you have here. Okay? So what I mean to tell you is that at least by the end of this workshop, I wanted a few brilliant entrepreneurs to come out with your ideas so that we can turn them into a startup. Is that okay? I want everybody sitting here to take it as a challenge. This is for all, including our teachers. If you would like to become an entrepreneur, I can be with you from top to bottom. Okay? I want you all to come up with brilliant ideas and turn your small ideas into $1 billion business. And that's very much possible. We have examples of people who have done this. So, Of course, nobody in the world can guide you on what business you have to do. We can only give you some kind of abstract information. These are the possible areas, or these are the things where you can think of becoming an entrepreneur. Smart campus solutions. See, smart campus solutions is very interesting because here within our campus we have so many problems. I told you in the beginning itself, when you look around yourself, you will find infinite number of problems. Maybe hostel allocation, maybe gate. How many of you have thought of automating our gate? We have a gate in our campus, right? Gate automation. It's a very small project. Infinite amount of problems are there surrounding you. And solution to every problem is a business idea. I told you in the beginning itself, being an entrepreneur should not be instilled from outside, it should come from inside. And every cell of your body will think in that manner. You will not think of anything else. Everything will have an idea, everything will be converted into a model, a business model. Whether it is successful or not, we are not bothered. Sometimes we may fail, not once, even 100 times, but one day or the other, we would succeed. So, we should start. We have campus as an lab where you're going to experiment with your own campus. You can do experiments, so much of experiments within your campus. You have so many. For example, I know some of my students in the previous college has designed an AI camera which is going to identify students who have not come in uniforms. Quite a simple, interesting product, can be launched, can be turned over into a business, and so on. Educational apps. Of course, I believe some of our students have started doing some work on that. Sustainable products. We know that we are in danger, right? When you open the UN website, Sustainable Development Goals or anything, the moment you open, the first thing we see is that the world is in danger. Carbon emission, global warming, and so many issues are there. Based on this, you have startup ideas. You can build solutions. Healthcare. I'm glad that our agriculture students are also here. I have undergone a training program at IIT Palakkad for the last 6 months from July to December 2025. I had opportunity to meet a drone manufacturing company called as Fossilage, which is a startup at IIT Palakkad, which is an agri-tech solution. Okay, drones for agriculture. Drones, robotics, very, very, very hot field where you can invest your brain and you can become highly successful. And remember, there is a very common saying that if you walk in a path that is different from what the others walk, you may be alone, but your ideas may be successful. It is very easy to reach your goals. Travel in a path less traveled. Okay? So don't think that my idea is foolish or my idea may not generate results. You talk to 10 people. 10 people will say that your ideas are not successful, may not come successfully, or this is foolish, this is rubbish. They might ridicule you, or they might tease you, or they might not take you into consideration. But keep in mind that this is not a reason for your pullback. If at all you are tired, take rest, but don't quit. There are problems, we need solutions. And in the beginning, when I was discussing, why we are so much concentrating on startups, one reason is that we need solutions to the problems. If you have watched the videos or the reels that were released after Operation Sindoor, you could have noticed that the Pakistani drones were attacked to high precision. Anti-drone is a very important vertical or a domain where huge amount of research is going on and where you can invest in a startup. You might have seen that. So you can imagine how difficult it is to target a moving vehicle to the right spot, right? How the speed at which a drone is moving is being calculated. So these are some of the common student ideas. And this is not all, this list is only a very small abstract list. So now just have a check with yourself whether your idea is going to generate something, your idea is going to be successful, or whether your ideas can be converted into a startup. The first thing you have to check is whether it is going to solve a real problem or not. So initially we have to develop a problem statement. I told you the world around you is full of problems. Your job is very simple. You just need to identify what is that problem. Put it down into a statement, then find out its solution. So, when you tell your idea to somebody who is in that vertical, the first thing that he asks, when will this product be available? If this question is asked very clear, your product is in need and your product will hit the market, then you should have an interest in that. I told you now, nobody can make you an entrepreneur except yourself. So it is only your responsibility. An entrepreneur will not give excuses. No excuses like I have fever, I have stomachache, I have this thing, that thing, and that's the reason. So many excuses we get now. I am not able to do this. I am so tired. I am having health problem. I am having headache. So many complaints you give. Entrepreneurs don't give complaints. They are bold enough. They come, they try, they do, they succeed. They don't give excuses. Enala mudila, I can't do this. I am so tired. I am having this work. I am so shy. I'll sit like this. No excuses. They come out, they do it, and only your result speaks. Not necessary to work so much hours. You don't need to work continuously. If you are able to give results, more than enough. So these are the potential problems that could be solved. Or these are the potential signs that your startup idea is worthy. Again, IIT Madras. You don't need to be a student of IIT Madras to incubate in IIT Madras. Almost 70 to 80% of startups that have come out of IIT Madras are from outsiders. Other people come, do business, and become successful. Every 3 days, one startup is incubated inside IIT Madras. Okay. So a new startup is born every 3 days. On February, on February 1st, I've attended a program for NPTEL stars at IIT Madras, where the director of IIT Madras, Padma Bhushan Sri V. Kamakoti, was addressing it. Sir was telling all about why we should have more number of startups. So the entire world is supporting you. If you don't want to start it here, if you want to start it anywhere in the world, you can approach us. We will be there. So now we have that certain statistics. Our IIT Madras has incubated more than 310 startups. And more than 6,000 jobs. So this is all the theoretical aspects of startups. Now we have some question answer time. Would you like to ask me some questions? If no questions, I'll proceed. There is no eligibility. I'll just discuss on the eligibility criteria for Udyam registration. This is one of the topics that is coming up in this. So how many of you have visited this Udyam website, at least after I have notified you that we are going to have a workshop on Udyam registration? How many of you have looked into the website, tried to know about it? See, where is the curiosity? An entrepreneurial mindset, you should have some curiosity. How many of you have really thought how certain things are working? All of you are using calculators, right? Yes or no? Everybody, everybody, raise your hands. Everybody is using calculators. Can you tell me how a calculator is working? Can you design a calculator, an electronic calculator, very simple thing, invented decades ago? See, that curiosity you should have. You should have a purpose. You should have an interest. Otherwise, becoming an entrepreneur is not possible. Okay. So coming to Udyam registration, official online portal for registering micro, small or medium enterprise. You can register online within 6 months of incubating a startup. The main idea, the first part is generating the idea, checking whether your idea is really capable of generating revenue, finding out what are the different ways with which you can become an entrepreneur. Once you decide that you have to become an entrepreneur, then what we have to do is that we have to do certain formalities so that our company is registered with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And the first way of registering this is the MSME initiative, where you are going to register online in a very simple manner. Now, I want you all to open up your mobile phones and go into Udyam website. All of you take your mobile phones, open Google Chrome, go to Udyam, UDYAM, and see what the website is all about. So the first thing is that in order to register a company under Udyam, you don't need to spend a single pie. It is absolutely free. It is online. After registration, immediately you will get a registration certificate. You can incorporate it very easily. Only one time you need to register. It is there throughout your life. Okay. The company is live throughout. Immediately after registration, you will get the certificate. The last point is tricky. I was telling you already the first thing, everything is free. Then why? No cost for students. See, there are different types. One type is individual. You have partnership. You need to have partnership agreements if you are joining in a team and doing it. So even in that case, for students, there is no cost involved at all. That's why the point free is repeated in a different way. So now, if you want to register a startup, you know what are the things you need to have. What are the advantages that you get on registering in Udyam? What is a collateral free loan? Collateral free loan, another. What do you think is collateral free loan? In gold loans, gold is a collateral security that the bank gets from the borrower. கடன் வாங்குறதுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒன்று வச்சாதான் கொடுப்பாங்க இல்லையா? கோல்டு வீடு. ஆனால் for startups you don't need to have any security. You are given free loans. Okay, credit guarantee scheme. It is called as credit guarantee scheme. You don't need to pay taxes to the government, obviously. You want to register a patent, you have to pay some money in a patent fees. Only 50% you need to pay. How much ever turnover you get, you don't need to pay taxes. 50% exception is there. And interesting, after Udyam registration, you can apply for government tenders and you will be given preferences. Last week in the newspaper, I saw NIT Trichy had given a tender notice for development of a particular kind of software. Being involved in computer science, I thought that I can look into that. So we have software requirements in educational institutions under government. We have Tamil Nadu government's infinite amount of projects. A few days back, you might have noticed in the newspaper that Tamil Nadu government has announced 1 crore Indian rupees for anybody who is involved in research for deciphering the Indus Valley script. We have Government of Tamil Nadu projects infinite, Government of India projects infinite coming up. And if you have a Udyam registered company, you can very easily apply for tenders and you can get that. All these things can be done when you are in this college itself. You don't need any additional criteria for this. You can register a startup, own a startup, start generating income while you are in second year or third year within this college itself. Only thing is that you should have the mindset and you need to work hard. Of course, you have an office, you don't need to pay electricity bill, or you have kind of reduction in electricity bill. And here, I'll come to those points in the end. If you incubate in our college, you don't need to do anything, any of these things. You'll be given an office, you'll be given everything, even employees you will be given. So, of course, managing a startup is not an easy business, I told you. You won't get income as you like. You won't get monthly salary. There is no security in income and so on. So you may be having delayed payments and you are protected by government in case you are expected to pay to the government some funds. So you can participate in international trade fairs and all these things. All these things are applicable only for those who have registered in Udyam portal. Now after this, you have to register in DPIIT. That will also be another session handled by me on another day, where I will tell you what is DPIIT registration, where you get grants, free money. You want to buy some products for building your product, you are being paid free by the government. We have infinite products. Okay. So this is a recent quote. 1 second, I just. See, can you read this? Tesol Semiconductors CEO Srini Chinnamalli. What he says is that anyone with a product idea can come to us. We can design both the chip and the complete product around you. After seeing this interview or after reading this interview in Electronics for You the last month, I sent a LinkedIn request to Tesol CEO and I'm now connected with him. If you would have some idea, we are ready. There are teams, there are people, there are facilities. Only thing is that you need to come up. So this is what I've quoted here. Anyone with a product idea can come to us. We can design both the chip and the product level development. So now we had a query about the eligibility criteria. These are the basic types of companies. You have an individual, sole proprietorship, partnership, family, private limited company, LLPs, and cooperative societies. These are the different types of companies. I just give you information on this, but we are not going to go deep into what each of these things are, because this is beyond the scope of what we are planning to discuss today. And also, we don't have enough time for that. So when do you call a micro enterprise? Investment of 1 crore and turnover of approximately 5 crores. A small scale enterprise, 10 crores and a turnover of 50 crores. Medium scale means initial investment of 50 crores and an expected turnover of 250 crores. So ultimately this is what is MSME. Okay, micro, small, medium enterprises. Okay, so you register a small company, you grow and become bigger. So this is the website I told you. You need to visit udyamregistration.gov.in. Click new entrepreneurs are not registered. If you haven't registered any MSME, very simple. You have to enter your Aadhaar number and name, mobile number. You will get an OTP. You need to fill in these basic details and submit and download. That's it. So simple for Udyam registration. I've already explained to you all the benefits, right? So after saying why should you register, now I am teaching you or I am telling you how to register. So what are the things that you might need? You need an Aadhaar card, which is mandatory. PAN card. If you have, it's okay. Bank passbook. You have to open an account, bank passbook. If you have business. See, Google Map, location of your business is more than enough. You don't need to worry about these things. If you would like to register in Udyam, just come and meet me. I will register it here very easily for you. You should have a photograph of yourself. You can register in your educational institution also. You have so many advantages of that. But it's not that easy to register a partnership company. You need to have auditing and so many other things will be there. So that's also something that we don't need to discuss here. But you need to understand that if you want to start a partnership company, you might have to have more number of documents than what you are doing it individually. So these are some examples some of our students have done. And if you want to incubate a company at IIT Madras, you can contact me. Today I had one student asking me that I wanted to visit IIT Madras. I'll take you all to IIT Madras, no problem. You can register, start up. You can have your office at IIT Madras. Advantages, you get so much of business very easily done. There is so much of contacts. Still, if you want, we can arrange everything. You can have multiple offices. One office at IIT Madras, one here and so on. Anything what we can do can be done. Only thing is that you need ideas, you need mind to work hard. And I told you, you need that entrepreneurial mindset. This mindset is most important factor. So here we have experienced mentors here. I am in charge of startups. Anytime you can come and meet me in my room, I'll be available. We have faculty mentors. You have some business idea, you want some, you have the product in your mind, but you do not know how to do it. We are there to help you. You can come join us. I can arrange free legal consultation also. We have advocates who can do the job. If you are interested, you can come. And also, Isha College is providing seed funding for all of you. You have a project idea, you can get that done. You get money for that. So these are various schemes that Government of India has launched. And we have enough schemes for women entrepreneurs also. If you are a women entrepreneur, you have more advantages than your counterparts. If you are a girl student at our campus, you want to start that, I'll give you a special set of information about how you can do the startup, what are the advantages you have being a woman. So this is very important, and we are concluding our session almost. Most people are afraid of starting any kind of startups because they feel that your idea should be something very big, something very different, or you should have a fully developed product, or your idea should be something very extraordinary. Nothing of that sort. Most successful businesses are those which have started with very, very small, very interesting ideas. And the most difficult thing is the first step. Once you enter into this, then you become automatically energized. You always have enough strength on that. You don't need to worry about that. Then you have the entire world or the entire universe supporting you for that. And nothing in the world is hard if you have your determination and mental strength as good as possible. But if you're weak, you always will be weak. You will not have the energy at all. So the best thing is that look around you for your problems, get an idea, and start working on that. Registration for Udyam. I have registered for nearly 300 startups in my life so far. Okay. Any student, you can come within 15-20 minutes, your registration process is over, you get a certificate. You get a certificate of registration, and see, even if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, if you have registered, that itself shows that you are much highly competitive. This will help you even to be at a slightly higher edge when you attend interviews, and your resume will be more easily shortlisted than compared with others. Because people feel that even if you are a failed entrepreneur, you are much better than a job seeker. Take my words in your heart. Even if you are a failed entrepreneur, you are much higher than a simple job seeker. You don't need any lawyers or anything, and it's absolutely free. You don't need a registered office. You can use this college address. I can support you on that. And this address is more than enough for you to register a startup. And individual registration is much easier than a partnership registration. You have seen the details and so on. So with this, I conclude. Actually, I had much more to talk, but I'm planning to conclude with this. And I want you to ask me a few questions about registration or anything else. You are free to follow me up. And these are the websites that you should. These are the websites that you should keep in mind. You can go for all this. So any questions? How many people are going to register for Udyam today? Good. Give him a big hand. I really appreciate you for your. You are more powerful than others. Only one. But I'm very happy at least one convert I could do. What about the others? From the girl side, how many women entrepreneurs we can expect? Nobody? Anybody else from the boys side? Be bold enough, raise your hands. Be strong enough. Raise your hands. not others' hands, your own hands. Take your own hands and raise it up. Great. But somehow this workshop turned to be fruitful because I expected only one startup. And I'm very sure that this one startup will become very highly successful. Give him a big hand and best wishes. Congratulations. Every 3 days, a new startup is born at IIT Madras. And every 6 months, at least two startups should have been launched at ISA College from our computer science department. Is that okay? I got only one now. And I don't want you to raise your hands because of any kind of force. Because you can't become successful if somebody else is raising your hands. It should come from the depth of your heart. Inside your mind, it should be there. Or you should be able to understand what is being taught here. Or you should be able to listen. Any queries? Any doubts? You have any questions? No questions. So I have so many questions. Alvin, come on, why don't you start? Why don't you register for a startup? What is preventing you from sitting there silently? Devi, Divya, Nagdevi. Why? What is preventing you from? Why? Either it should be because you have some queries, or you don't want to. Devi, come on, we'll give you answers. Give it to him. I want one by one to give me some answers on why you don't want to be entrepreneurs or why you don't want to end up at startups. Alvin, no passing the mic. This is not a game. Get up and tell me why you don't want. Come on, please be quick. Please be quick. Get up. The question is asked to you. The question will be asked to most of you. No, it is not like people will not make fun of you. You should be giving me some answer or some reason is there, no? There should have been some reason. Tell me what do you think? Why? Next. No. I know it is no, but why? Why no? In a, I had an opportunity to deliver an address like this at Kumaramanu College. One or two students told me that they prefer government jobs, so they don't want to go for any other things. That was a valid answer. At least they had some answers. What is your justification for sitting simply inside a class? So thank you all. Thank you very much